Hey guys, and welcome back to another part of Kingdom Hearts. Oh, there's just so many cards everywhere. I'm here again with Helldragon. It's like I just can't get rid of the guy. Wouldn't you know it, our next visit is to that most wonderful and odorous of places, the inside of Monstro.
I do like how you mentioned that it's odorous because, if I've never been inside of a whale personally. I'm
Really?
just gonna, I'm just gonna. I have to admit that I haven't played that particular level of my life, but I would imagine if you were inside a whale, it would stink to high hell.
Well, he swallows everything hither and thither. Old men, puppets, fish, especially the fish, I suppose.
People from the Bible. That was Jonas, right? I haven't read the Bible.
Jonas? It's Jonah.
Jonah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the snowstorm and the Jonas Brothers. My bad.
Yeah, do you remember that episode of House of Mouse where the Jonas Brothers guest stars and Monstro just comes flying through the front doors and eats them?
Did Monstro ever actually show up in House of Mouse? Like, legit. I actually want to know if he did.
I don't know. I don't think he would be able to find the table if that was the case.
Well, even so, I'm pretty sure it would have been a visual gag, but anyway.
Oh man, actual Disney character interaction. We haven't seen this since the days of, well, Kingdom Hearts 2, I guess.
I thought you were going to say, we haven't seen this since the days of 358/2 days, and I would have just had to knock your ass out right then and there.
The disappointment about that game is palpable, but we're not here to bitch about that. We're here to bitch about this. What memories do you have of Monstro, my friend?
Well, going back to the original Kingdom Hearts, I never liked Monstro, but I'll have to admit, considering for some reason that game had multiple water-themed levels. Let's think about this, because you're inside Monstro, who would technically be swimming through water if he wasn't going through space at the time.
Yeah, true.
Then you have Atlantica, which actually took place in water, and strangely enough, Monstro is the least bad of those two.
Well, I suppose. This one is a much more abridged version of the Kingdom Hearts 1 storyline. For example, Riku didn't even show up here.
It was like that in Kingdom Hearts 1 as well. That was an abridged version of the Pinocchio movie, so there you go.
I'm so gonna title this part Monstro's Inside Story.
I really want you to do that, yeah.
I have to make a note of it.
There is a particular weird thing about this particular version of Monstro. If you actually go backwards into the wall at high speeds, you can go through parallel Monstros and end up somewhere else.
Shut up. I should never have shown you that Scuttlebug video, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I was, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a video about trying to get a single star in Mario 64 in Hazy May's Cave, I believe, by doing, half A button presses?
Yeah, it was like, the guy was clearly just using the weird programming of the game to get a star without pressing buttons too much. Okay, I get that. But then he explained it like you needed fucking astrophysics to understand.
Yeah, we just finished watching an episode of Game Center CX, and I says to Helldragon, we gotta watch this, if only so I can actually meaningfully partake in the memes and such. And, Helldragon was like, I guess we'll just watch 15 minutes of it, and we ended up watching all 24 minutes of it.
Because, man, I was engrossed by the end of that, I have to admit, because the sheer batshit insanity of that sort of mental train of thought to lead to those conclusions that the guy made in the video, I mean, wow.
Yeah, nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts, obviously, but we have to get creative, seeing as the whole game is literally about creating rooms, having card battles and such.
The walls look like what happens when a game of Splatoon happens in Monstro, don't you think about that?
If you took an x-ray of me after eating a whole bag of Skittles, this would probably be the result.
Apparently this is what happens when you have too much caffeine, like it spots the inside lining of your soda. No, that's not a joke. Apparently that actually happens if you have too much of it, so now I'm kind of trying to back off.
Oh, well, that's not going to stop me from having copious amounts of tea, I can tell you what.
I am a Pepsi fan, so there you go. I mean, in that age-old debate, would you say that you prefer Pepsi products over Coke products?
Yeah, Pepsi Max specifically.
Yeah, I actually really like Pepsi Max. Cherry Pepsi Max is probably my favorite. Diet Mountain Dew Code Red is the best fucking diet drink, and I will fight you over it.
This is what people come to a Kingdom Hearts playthrough to hear about, discussions of soft drinks and such. I will say, just to get on topic for a second, that move we got back there, pretty darn good, because number one, it's easy to set up, and number two, it hits the enemy twice. It's kind of like a boomerang of sorts. I'll be using raids a lot throughout the game, and there's a certain point where my tactics will just turn on a dime, and I'll be using the same attacks over and over until the end of the game.
Well, there is a novelty of flinging your Keyblade like a boomerang and setting it on fire at the same time to hit a guy twice in the face. I mean, I have to admit, I didn't use the raids a lot in like this game in Kingdom Hearts 1, but if it was like an easy command to do, I would have done it like all the fucking time, because that sounds great.
Just looking back on the original Chain of Memories, it baffles me how I got through that game, because I remember running out of cards constantly from overusing slides. Not even good slides, just like, 1, 2, 3, eat this.
Yeah, and I didn't use slides at all, like I've said before, which honestly made the game a little bit more boring, to be honest with you.
Geppetto, not voiced in this particular game.
I'm trying to... I mean, they only had so much limited budget to work on because this was essentially an add-on, like we said, to Final Mix, and it was available as a separate product, so they only got the bare minimum in terms of voice acting, I would think.
Where did Pinocchio go? I'm pretty sure we didn't lose him throughout those few rooms.
Well, I don't know. Like, we're losing our memories, so I'm not really surprised we're losing puppets that easily.
Memories and one puppets are very different things. I should know. I've checked thoroughly.
Wow, well, thank you. You know, I'm glad somebody cleared that up.
Well, just like Richie, I like to do research for these playthroughs. Mine is a little bit more eccentric, though.
See, Geppetto, if you did more yoga like I did, you'd be a lot more flexible. Trust me, it really works with your knees.
He's mostly waist.
Well, even so, you can still strengthen those muscles.
That's W-A-I-S-T, by the way, not, the other kind of waist. Like, Geppetto is total shit.
Where does the shit go in Monstro?
Well, actually, if we were talking about the Drew Carey version of Geppetto, that actual waist definition would probably be true.
No, no.
I love that song at the end, don't you?
Well, it certainly was made.
Yeah, it was certainly a thing that existed at one point in time.
I love how that's like the least credible compliment I can give something. It was made. Like, somebody put it down, and it's done.
I love how the other people on Whose Line Is It Anyway gave Drew Carey shit about Geppetto. Like, what's the worst Christmas present you could get? Oh, I got you Geppetto on DVD.
Oh my god, it actually does lead into a featureless void here in Monstro. I mean, he's a massive whale, so at least it makes sense.
If you look carefully, you can see Mario and Luigi doing minigames down there.
Oh, god. Some of those minigames in Bowser's Inside Story was fucking annoying. By the way, as of this recording, I'm waiting for Paper Jam to get here in the mail. I finally bought it off of Amazon, so I've been waiting for it. I'm looking fucking forward to it, because I hear it's apparently pretty good.
Don't expect much from the story, but the gameplay is as solid as ever.
Well, I mean, ever since they pulled that shit with Phantasma, I'm really kind of expecting the worst, to be honest with you.
Well, there's no Bowser dupe at the end of the story. That's not really a spoiler. I'm not going to say how it plays out.
Alright, fair enough. Okay, the walls are going up. They're trying to get out of this game, and I can honestly say why.
Oh, the screaming mouth in the middle really complements the whole thing. It sets it off.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what do you have to do to get mouths in your stomach? Are those like ulcers for Monstro?
Oh, it's screaming.
I wonder if he could sword fight with that thing if it's long enough. Is he like Cyrano de Bergerac? Does he get better at making love poems the longer it gets?
I wish he hadn't said sword fight. I just can't think of anything else nowadays. When you bring up that term, that is, I'm not... Shut up, Tom, you'll only incriminate yourself further.
No, I'm just letting you dig that hole, because it's very entertaining to watch you go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Well, I'll come out the other side of Monstro, so it's all good.
But do you really want to go that way, though?
To get away from this conversation, yes.
Just anything to move on to the next topic.
You see, Goofy, he's in Sage training right now. He won't be a true wizard until Kingdom Hearts 2. But he's speaking the truth here. It's okay to lie if it's to, protect the feelings of, a loved one. But if you try that in court, you get tried for fucking perjury, so think on.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the Goofy defense hold up in a court of law.
The Goofy Defense Force, the GDF. I'm just waiting for it. It's coming. Oh no! Oh no, the anti-lie patrol is coming!
Is this like indigestion for Monstro?
Oh, you know it is, mate.
Yeah, we all know what's coming, so let's get all that out of the way.
The less popular brother of David Cage, Parasite Cage.
Man, I still have to wonder to this day who sat down and came up with the idea for Parasite Cage. He's like a fucking monster tumor that lives inside of a whale, and he likes to kidnap young puppet children, so I'm not really sure about that. Has he had a job since the last time we followed up with him? Like, what's his story now?
Ironically, he became a fridge salesman.
Can you still get a job for that? Do you have to, like, work at Sears, or is that, like, a separate thing? Can you, like, sell fridges going door to door?
Look, I talk over video games. I don't know any of this IRL shit. Alright, Parasite Cage. The original version of this fight in, the GBA chain of memories was a little bit of a bitch. Mostly because, as you can see here, the platforms that revolve around the arena were pretty hard to land on.
Yeah, that's true. Because of the perspective, it was really kind of hard to judge things sometime. Here, it's a lot more manageable. The Mickey card is still the same and gives you a clearer floor without any acid to just wail on Parasite Cage with, so look for it as often as possible.
Oh, I love casting, like, second level magic at this stage in the game. It's great, but you know what's better than that? Third stage magic.
Third stage tends to be better than the second stage, unless we're talking about burns.
Yes. So I couldn't think of anything to follow that up.
I mean, you were going to use a fire raid eventually. You might as well learn your burns now.
Indeed. Don't mind me, just standing in gastric acid.
I do love how Parasite Cage has little tiny legs. Like, that's probably the worst thing you can give to him. You know, considering his status as a fucking tumor monster.
What I find funny, I never really put much thought into this before, he has his own, like, mini platform. Like, he can't even stand in the acid of Monstro.
Oh, come on, what a wuss. What, you don't want to burn your flesh up? What are you, a pussy?
You tumor coward. Fire raid!
No, we give Parasite Cage a lot of shit, but he's actually pretty okay. You know, he helps out with children and things like that. You know, he volunteers his time every so often, which you can't really do that well when you're a giant tumor monster, but God help him, he tries.
The rich lore of the Parasite Cage family. Whatever, he's done.
Thank you. Done and dusted. Don't you feel impressive now?
Well, gotta work on my sound effects of things blowing up. I feel like I've been phoning it in for the last few playthroughs.
I recommend a good shakalaka boom, you know, for an explosion effect.
I suppose.
Or a crack-a-thoom.
This is actually a pretty good card, and I can tell you what it does without even looking at my notes. It basically nullifies the enemy card. You know, like Jafar, his card, done.
And some bosses in the game do use enemy cards, right?
Most of them use enemy cards, that's why they're called enemy cards.
Okay, fair enough. So that can actually help you out, which is probably the only good thing Parasite Cage has ever done.
What it actually does, nullifies an opponent's enemy card without fail. Nothing happens if your opponent has no enemy card in play. I will be using it specifically on one boss in the game, which is a bit of a bitch because it has auto life.
I think I seem to recall which boss you're talking about.
It'll be a while before we get to that point.
Hey, no, I was gonna get that heart container. Aw.
So always going back to the Zelda, were you?
Well, this was fucking Baronade, essentially. Come on.
Who would you rather fight? Let's get a meta poll going here. Baronade from Jabba Jabba's Belly or Parasite Cage?
I think Baronade was actually least annoying. I hated Jabba Jabba's Belly more. By the way, all Jabba Jabba's Belly levels suck, especially in Oracle of Ages. Fuck that level. Fuck it.
Is that the one where you have to go through with the mermaid tail?
Yes.
Oh.
It's so awful. I did that legit on Game Boy. Never again.
But my main memory about Oracle of Ages is glitching my way to the final boss with an action replay and not being able to beat her because I didn't have the hookshot.
Oh yeah, you need hookshot and bombs to beat Viran, I believe.
By the way, no Oracle characters in Hyrule Warriors. What's the dealio?
That's so weird. You'd think they would have included some because the Oracle games are like some of the more popular ones next to Link's Awakening.
Well, we got one more cutscene door to head into, and this one plays out a little bit differently compared to the other levels, but I'll talk about it once we open said door.
And then Moogle would just leave him behind. Why, Koopa, maybe I wanted to talk.
Hey, I've gotten my free booster pack. I want nothing more to do with him.
You giving out free decks? No? Then fuck off.
Peace, bitch.
This needs to be free card game day.
Just give time for the luscious graphics to kick in.
I keep forgetting that Parasite Cage in this game is actually the second stage of this level. He's not actually the last boss of the level, which is weird.
Yeah, it's a bit of a swerve.
You do exactly what I think you're gonna do, Sora.
Wait for it. Oh no, how timely!
I thought they were gonna actually come in through the tunnel, but that would have been animation.
Just the idea of a Heartless opening the door and being like, okay, let's get down to this.
So you've ever had people dance around in your golden until you have this incredible urge to take a shit?
Basically, every day of my life.
I hear that's how digestion works.
Okay, so this is how this is going to play out. We've got to kill Heartless in rapid succession to fill the Monstro gauge on the right there. And stuff like Fire Raid actually helps a lot because, as you can probably guess, it hits enemies in a line.
Well, he looks so unhappy when you use Fire Raid. He's like, ah.
Yeah, I'm totally hyped! Killing Heartless, brother!
He's got, like, acid reflux disease. I think that's what's going on with him right now. That's a poor whale, man.
I remember having a little bit of trouble with this one in the original game, but here it seemed pretty easy.
Yeah, like, I think I only did it, like, once in the original game, too. It's been so long, but here, that definitely did look a lot simpler.
What's your opinion of Dumbo, the film?
I don't think I've watched it all the way through. I think I've watched, like, bits and pieces, and that's it. Wasn't it, like, hilariously racist or something? I don't know.
What, baby? You don't like the politically incorrect crows or ravens?
Oh, yeah, it was the crows, because every time I think of racist Disney characters, I always think of the damn vultures from Jungle Book, but those aren't racist, those are just bad Beatles ripoffs.
Oh, what are you doing, man? Is little Mowgli going around like the forest or whatever?
I love those fucking guys, though. Those were great.
I don't know what impression I was trying to make there, I apologize.
Not a good one, obviously.
Yeah, go to hell. Now, in KH1, over yonder, somewhere in that massive pile of wreckage and shit, is the Water Gleam summon for Dumbo. I may be getting it mixed up. I think you get Simba first, and then you get Dumbo in here.
I do like how they see Pinocchio and Geppetto are gone, and just assume they got out okay. They weren't buried underneath the rubble when they, were kicking up stuff in Monstro. They didn't even bother to check. Oh, they're fine.
Oh, Jesus. That'd be a really depressing end to this Kingdom Hearts world.
That's true. It just goes to show you that no matter what you do, everything is meaningless and hopeless. I don't even remember what he said. I think we were talking over that part.
Aren't your memories only supposed to fade inside the Castle Oblivion corridors? Oh.
Man, I've forgotten more shit than you'll ever know. Goofy approves.
And thus the world ends. Bleh.
Which is good, because the less time... I spend way too much time inside of whales as part of my commentary career. And video game career.
Well, I'm not going to kink shame you. Whatever floats your boat.
I mean, what is it about video games that think sewer levels, the inside of creatures, and lava worlds are like the levels to keep doing over and over and over? I never got that.
Well, once you have one template for being inside of something, you can, cross-paste it to other games.
I think even Devil May Cry did that once, did it? No, I know you fought like a big Leviathan monster. I don't think you ever go inside of it.
I think you're asking the wrong person about Devil May Cry. Try asking Gaming Brit.
Oh, yes, Gaming Brit. I was going to do an impression, but I stopped.
Oh, yes, the wonderful Kingdom Hearts series. Aha!
I kind of wish he was like that. Aha!
My Gaming Brit impression is just Alan Partridge at this point.
She was hot. Oh, you meant other details, Donald. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember those bits and pieces, alright, yeah.
Maybe you could try telling us some more stuff about her. Who knows? It might even help you remember other things.
What do you want, notes? I didn't take notes on everyone I meet, not like I used to do.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. She drew a lot? It wasn't very good, but I remember trying to encourage her by saying, yes, that's cool.
She didn't like physical activity because she didn't swim.
She was really good. I remember
I love how they have the same fighting poses when they were little kids. It's just something that's very anime-esque.
Even when he was a kid, Riku was doing that weird pose he did with his sword.
It's like a fencer.
I suppose... No, a fencer brings out his blade in front so he could deflect attacks.
Well, that's what Riku's doing as well. He's just holding it high.
Look, I'm an expert on wooden swordplay. I should know this.
Don't make me channel Layton and prove you wrong.
Oh, God.
That's my stand.
I remember crying after she was gone.
Stop being a wuss, Sora.
There's like a whole other girl coming along. It'll be great.
What was that other girl's name? Ah, it'll come to me.
I still don't remember her name.
See, if you had Google Calendar, you'd be remembering this stuff really easily.
Smile.
Awkward grin.
I must point out, Sora keeps remembering things instead of forgetting them.
Well, if that don't beat all.
It seems to me
It's Castle
things may be
Remembrance. Take that, Organization 13, if that is your real name.
Like, while Lucia's just on the top floor saying, we've just fucked everything up. Shut down the whole operation. We're done here.
Oh, we flipped the switch the wrong way. Oh, let me get that.
Lie so deep in our hearts that they're out of reach.
Yeah, like my precious memories of getting bullied when I was young in school. Just out of reach. I'm so glad I could dig them up again. Thanks, Sora.
The only way I can go into my EX burst mode is to unleash those memories.
Gosh, Sora, I think I'm a little jealous of you. How come me and Donald and Jiminy aren't remembering more of the stuff from our memories?
Because it's trapped inside the Disney Vault and they won't let it out.
The fucking Disney Vault.
And the scene just ends, like most scenes in this game.
Just like an awkward crash and burn. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories does that a lot.
And the Goofy says... And the Donald says...
I just had this sudden urge to play Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario, that's the one. Alright, I don't see where you plug in the HDMI, I don't know how we can...
Just been trying to watch TV for ages. God damn it, why do we have to buy this thing like half price from Zordon?
No wonder it was cheap, it's got no electricity!
Fun on the first floor. So this time, it's my turn.
I'm a sadist.
Oh, hey now, you almost got her nose there. His weapon should have been cards, clearly.
I'm not going to just give it to him.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Well, do I detect a soft spot?
Well, yeah, because I'm doughy there.
I'm not gonna break the toy. I'm not dumb.
I just like to style my hair like this because I do. It's not a phase.
It's not dumb either.
If we're going to take over the organization.
I know that you're in on it too.
Know that my lip syncing isn't very good.
Keep it under your hood, at least until the time is right.
Everyone is betraying everyone in this organization. It's not organized at all.
Did she just call him a car? Keep it under the hood? That's a person! You're wrong!
No, it's not. It's a nobody. They're just like vile and despicable.
Oh yeah, you know, practically the same thing, you know?
I love Sora's borderline nobody racism in Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's hilarious and completely misguided, of course.
It's slightly worrying.
You remember your friend's name?
Not a goddamn thing, Goofy.
Her name's the only thing I can't seem to remember.
Ah, I know what I remember. Please join us next time for another part of RE Chain of Memories. Bye for now.